friends, this is Jess from Knit Plan Jess. Thank you so much for joining me today. So for my new viewers, welcome, and my returning viewers, welcome back. As you see, I have my reading journal, my Happy Planner reading journal, and my Boojo reading Boojo. Which means I am doing a reading journal flip through. I can't wait. I always get so excited about these videos, and I always get so excited about working in my reading journal. So if you're unfamiliar with this, maybe this is your first video that you've watched of my reading journal, but basically this is a year-long collab that I'm doing with Plan with Elise. So definitely go to her channel, check out her video. Links are in my description. Let her know that I sent you. And yeah, let's get started. So we're going to start by talking about my reading Boojo. So the reading Boojo is something that I actually set up just recently as part of a summer reading challenge that I'm doing with Plan with M. We decided to do a collab where we are challenging people to get out there and read. So I decided as part of this, I wanted to set up an actual reading Boojo because I want to move past my intimidation. So we have the main page where I have each month of the year, and this will eventually lead into like a September through December reading, as well as leading into a 2023 reading Boojo, which I'm super excited about that too. And don't fret, I will be keeping a Happy Planner reading Boojo for 2023 as well, so it'll be double the work, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. I love it. I love every time that I spend on these reading journals. It just makes me really happy, so I figured, why not have two? So we have my to be read list and my bingo board. These to be read books, some of them specifically align with the bingo, whereas other ones are just books that I want to read during the June, July, and August month. I have completed 6 items from my bingo, which technically I probably could count the free read as well, or free read as well. But I do have to get some book recommendations as well as reread a book from your childhood, which I decided to do Secret Garden. And then we come to the books that I read for June. So I basically screenshot these covers. I add them to Canva and I resize them to fit into my journal. It works out really, really well. And I love these little minuscule books. So we have the month also set up for July and August. And then we come to my books read page, which, considering that I read 12 books in June, I'm kind of a little iffy for how I want to do this, because as of right now, I will most likely have to add more shelves because I'm going to run out. I could add them to the back side, which is something I might do, because in that way I don't have like a blank page. Or I can set up one shelf for audio, one shelf for ebooks, and one shelf for physical books, and then I can just be able to put in like my top favorite. So we'll kind of see how that works out. But then, and this is completely separate from the summer reading challenge, I decided that I want to start adding more pages. So while I read a lot of ebooks, the majority of my ebooks come from the library. I just borrow them from the library. I use Libby and I have it connected to my Kindle. There are some books that I'm not going to be able to find at my library that I can only get on Kindle Unlimited. So that's why I created this Kindle to be read page. This is for books that I have to get from Kindle Unlimited, and I only use Kindle Unlimited if I can be able to get it free. I don't pay for it. I don't use it enough to make it worth it, the cost for me. So every now and then I'll get offers to get free months for Kindle Unlimited. So I've been doing that. And yeah, I need to just kind of update this for, there's like maybe 5 books so far that I know that I need to get from Kindle Unlimited, so I will add that to it. And then just as the year goes, as I'm coming across books that I can't find at the library, but it's on Kindle Unlimited, I will add it to this page. And that's basically all that I have so far, but I really, really love this. And before we go into this reading journal, I want to actually talk about my Kindle. So this is a new case that I actually just got, but the Kindle that I'm using, it is a 2019, I think it's like a 10th gen. It's just a basic Kindle, super simple, but I absolutely love it. The case itself, what I really like is that it has a stand, so I can be able to read my books, you know, whether it's sitting like on a pillow in my bed or whether it's sitting on a table, and I can, you know, knit while reading or eat while reading, because that's just me. I like to read. And it also has a handle, so in that way I can be able to just hold it like this while reading as well. So I really, really, really love that. I thought I saw something that July 12th and July 13th, Kindle Prime Days, the Kindle will be part of one of their deals. So I've gone ahead and linked you down below to the Kindle that I have. It's very affordable, and to me it's really good. I mean, I've had it for over 2 years now. So if you're interested in checking that out, I think mine was the one that they're going to be having a deal on. So definitely check it out. And I will also link to the case that I got as well, because there are other designs if you're not a fan of the cats. And while I'm talking about that, I also want to kind of share with you something else that I picked up. So I've been trying to read a lot more physical books. This is actually the next physical book that I want to read. I was using, to be able to read at night, just one of these little reading lamps where it just basically clips onto the book, and honestly it's kind of like really awkward. I hated it. I mean, this one, the battery's dead. So I actually picked up this light panel on Kindle. I have not taken off the plastic yet, just because I want to continue to protect it until I actually start using it, because the book I'm reading right now is on my Kindle, and once I'm done with that is when I'm going to pick up this book. But I really, really love this because it takes like 3 AAA batteries, but it produces a lot of light. Let me turn off my ring light and let's see if we can darken the room. So you can see, okay, so let's turn it off. You can see, I mean, obviously I've got light coming in from the window where Vinny's half asleep at the window, but you can see how much light that this produces. I mean, this produces a lot of light. So this will be really, really nice for when I want to read my book at night. And then it'll also be really nice because I can just turn it off and, hey, I have a bookmark. So I really like it. I will also link this down below as well. Okay. So there we go. But yeah, it's just a light panel. I really, it got good reviews. Oops. I really like to always check out the reviews before I buy something. This did have a couple of reviews, but the majority of them were really, really good. So I'm really excited to try it out. It came in a 2-pack for like $14. You can't beat that. All right, now back on track with the reading journal. So this is my Happy Planner reading journal. This is the classic size. Classic is 9 discs. And this was actually the cover of one of the Happy Notes from the Bookish line that came out in 2020. So we have it set up to where the first page is my Just Read page. And then it goes into the books that I've read. I do need to decorate this bookshelf and this bookshelf, but I have had to move into 3 bookshelves. So I need to actually create one more page like this that will have a bookshelf front and back, because there's no way that this is going to be enough for the next 6 months. If I filled in two pages and then 2 books on the third one, I will 100% need more. But yeah, so I'm really excited about that, and I've just been filling in the books and then just coloring them up just to give it a little bit of color. And then we have my to be read pages. These are books that I want to read this year. I came across them either last year or this year, and it's my goal to read them. So after I read a book, I basically highlight it to mark it off of the list. The problem that I have come across is that I have a lot of to be read pages. So once I fill in this page, no more to be read pages for the year. I have to get through these books, because any books that I don't read from here are going to have to go into 2023 to be read. It is an ongoing problem. Then we come to my Goodreads page. I'm doing the Goodreads challenge, where I just basically pick a number and it kind of tells me as I read books, because I have my Kindle connected to Goodreads, and I will update Goodreads for audiobooks and physical books. But basically I put in a number and it tells me as I'm going throughout the year how close I am to my goal. So my original goal was 50. I read 57 books in 2021. So my goal for the year was 50, knowing that I could very well adjust that. As of June, the end of June, I have read 54 books. So already I have beaten my original goal. I'm getting very close to what I read in 2021. So I have upped my goal to 100. I will be 100% honest with you. I would not be at 54 books if it was not for audiobooks. I'm not that type of person that thinks that audiobooks is cheating. I actually really enjoy audiobooks, because I feel like as I'm listening to it, I am really kind of like indulging in a movie, because I can visually see it in my head. I love listening to the narrators tell the story, and I feel like I'm there. So audiobooks are a huge thumbs up in my opinion. I'm really falling more in love with physical books as well. But I think overall, Kindle books are definitely my favorite, just because it's just so easy. But yeah, so I met my goal of 50. New goal is now 100 books for the year. And then we come to the Bad Bish book club. This is a book club that I'm doing with my friend Ashley J _plans for her planner account, or Ashley J _reads for her Bookstagram account. But basically, we each month we're picking books that we're reading the same as each other. If we get a chance to talk about it, fantastic. If we don't, we know that life happens, and sometimes it's just fun reading a book, the same book as a friend. So January we read One Last Stop. February we did not read any books together. March we read Craft a Life You Love, Things I'm Seeing Without You, and Romanov. And then April we read They Both Die at the End. May we read Along for the Ride and Things We Never Got Over. And then June we have read Just Haven't Met You Yet. So so I'm really enjoying this. I'm most likely, unless we only read 4 more books together the rest of the year, I will have to add pages to my Bad Bish book club, and that's perfectly fine. But I'm just going to tell her that if I have to add pages, we're going to have to up the number of books that we read each year, that we read together each month. It's just, if I add 2 more pages, I want to be able to put a total of 12 more books across both of those pages. It is the rules of the Bad Bish book club. And then we come to my daily reading challenge. So one thing that I noticed because I use the Kindle app on my phone to tell me when, like, if I read each day, and one thing I found is I was convinced that I was reading on certain days, and my app would tell me no. So in June, I tracked it every single day. And I either read a Kindle, I listened to an audiobook, or I read a physical book every single day. The app says I didn't, but I know for a fact that I did. And then we come to the A to Z challenge, where basically I am reading books that start with a letter of an alphabet. The books I am missing is P, Q, U, X, and Z. So I was going through my to be read list the other day, and I know for a fact that there are letters that will work for some of these books. So I've got the book Ugly Girls, which is a physical book that I want to read this year. So that will meet one. We have, it's really, really sad because there's like a lot of books that I've already read that letter. I'm looking for it. Part of Your World is one that is high on my list to read, and that's going to work for P. But the problem is that I've got Q, X, and Z. So if you have a recommendation for a book that starts with the letter that starts with the letters Q, U. So if you have a recommendation for a book that starts with the letters Q, X, or Z, drop me a comment, let me know. I will happily add it to my list because I need it. I need books with those letters. I'm really enjoying this challenge. And then we come to my colors of the rainbow. And basically for this, when I read a book that matched the color, I just went ahead and wrote it down. So that way I could read books with lots of colors in it. I don't know. It was kind of lame. It's blah, whatever. Okay, monthly review. This is where I just write down how many books that I read each month. So, I feel like I've done really, really well. June was 12 books, and I'm still kind of shocked at that, but I'll talk more about that. And then I have my page for the look ahead, where I'm basically writing notes of what I want to do. So I definitely want to do bingo sheets for my 2023, both my Happy Planner reading journal and my reading Boojo. And then I'm also want to do monthly reflection, where I just basically write down what my goal is, and then at the end of the month I just reflect on the month. I do plan on making a bingo sheet to use from July through December, and I have actually started using the monthly reflections, so those will 100% be continued into 2023. So now let's go to my calendar. So my calendar, I am using the monthly calendars from Happy Planner, from a 2022 planner. Sidebar has the number of books that is my goal to read for that month. And then I write when I started a book and when I finished a book. So really, really like this. And then I go to the books that I read, and these are just images that I printed out, so in that way I can be able to visually see it, because I love visually seeing the books that I read. So February, it was 6 books, and I read 8. March was 6 books, and I read 6. April was 6. That's kind of tends to be like my normal goal. And I read 10. And April was also the first month that I started doing audiobooks. So I'm trying to think, but I think we had like 1, 2. I think I had three audiobooks that month. And so it's still 7 books that I read. So that's still really good. So May is 6 books, and I read 10. Again, I did have audiobooks, so I had The Deathly Hallows was an audiobook, Along for the Ride was an audiobook, Twice Shy was an audiobook, and Don't Not Fall in Love. So 4 audiobooks and 6 Kindle books. And this is also the month that I started my reflection page. So I left a spot for where I marked my goal, and then just notes for how I actually did during the month. So I wrote down I finished 10 books, 4 audio, 6 Kindle, 0 physical books, and then just notes of things that I wanted to do. And then also my book of the month. So I'm giving myself space to write down 2 to 3 books that are like my absolute top books of the month. And then we have June. My goal was 6, and I finished 12 books. If I had read any more, I would not have been able to fit them on this page. And then, so of this 12 books, 6 were audio, 3 were Kindle books, and 3 were physical books, because I'm truly trying better to read physical books. And then I only really left myself space for 2 top books. However, if I could pick a third one, it would definitely be the reading list. So In 5 Years, Book Lovers, and the reading list were top books that I read that month. And then we come to July, where I did Harry Potter themed because I adore Harry Potter. I'm not a fan of the author, and I'm not going to get into it, but if you're curious as to why, please feel free to message me on Instagram, and I'm happy to share it. Since Harry Potter's birthday is on the 31st, Harry Potter is the perfect theme for July. My goal is 6 books total for July. Obviously, I haven't updated it, but here's my monthly reflection page where I also did Harry Potter themed. And then to go along with it, I used the Happy Planner Modern Bookish stickers. So I really liked how it turned out, and I'm just excited at the end of the month to update this. So there we go. We are done. That was a lot of talking. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Drop me a comment. Let me know if you are keeping a reading journal. And if you have any book recommendations, let me know as well. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Have a good day, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe and enjoy the next video.